Good morning, and thank you for choosing to attend our session today on using MCIS to engage in career exploration and planning. My name is Kristen Lane, and I have a colleague here, Tracy Valentino, who's helping with making sure we stay on track and everybody's questions get answered. And we're just really excited to be here today with you. This AB group is one of our favorite groups to present to. You guys always have a lot of great energy and good questions, and so really looking forward to today and sharing with you some of the key features in our Minnesota Career Information System, also known as MCIS. And having been a classroom teacher and a high school counselor for about 24 years, I'm most excited to show you really the career plan tool, which is to help you easily assign and point your students to the activities and information that you want to make sure they see in their career exploration and throughout their career planning, and ultimately to getting their first or third or 21st job. So the job that they want, a successful experience. And here, because MCIS is provided to you through the Minnesota Department of Ed, we begin each training with looking at MDE's 10 Minnesota commitments to equity. And today we are focusing on number 4, going local. MCIS uses Minnesota aggregated data from DEED and filter features that default to Minnesota data points first. While interfacing with MCIS, if you think of ways that we can improve our accessibility or functionality, please share your ideas with us, as I meet with programmers fairly regularly, and we want to keep MCIS up to date and responsive to the needs of our Minnesotans. MCIS has been around for a bit, so some of you maybe have used us in the past, or have heard of us. We've been around for about 50 years, and we are backed by we're part of Into Careers, which powers our MCIS platform. And the MCIS Career Information and Planning System is really across the nation. Into Careers is also a non-profit based out of the University of Oregon, and we work with other state agencies from across the country. So sometimes it's the Department of Labor and Industry, like in Illinois, or Department of Education in Missouri. So we're state agencies that collaborate to be able to pool our resources together to offer a really good experience at a very reasonable cost, and to stay kind of on that national level. We meet regularly so we can kind of talk about best practices and what's happening across the nation. So feel free to also reach out and ask questions like, if you want to know what some other states are doing, and from those state level agencies like levels, reach out and ask questions, because we do share and collaborate with other states pretty regularly. Like every other month we get together. So just a great time for us to share our experiences and share information. Our career development tools has 4 different levels. So our lifelong learning tools begin in kindergarten and include updated wage and employment information, age-appropriate self-surveys, and visual interactive results. In the junior version, we look at career and college planning resources that direct to both local and national opportunities, along with the high school version, moving into the financial aid, college, and training seeking resources. Many of your adult learners might already have an MCIS account, and it can be transferred from site to site so that they can continue to access their information and use their MCIS account for career planning and activities that would then be available on your site. So it's really a nice feature that we can kind of follow that lifelong K through adult planning, and that individuals can really save their information that's pertinent at each level and move with them in their account. Our homepage, I'm going to go over a couple slides here also to highlight some of the features in MCIS, and then I'll kind of go on and drive live on our site. But I'll begin with our homepage, where you're going to find that we have our website here at the top, and that we have support tabs where you can find training opportunities and how to contact us. We have a how to order tab where we have all of our pricing listed out in public knowledge and available, and test prep packages that are available, and I'll kind of touch on those in just a minute. We also have an admin tab for staff to find anything and everything that they need to navigate an MCIS and implement career exploration activities, do some planning, and just seeking out additional training. Today is just going to be just a quick look at those features and just kind of highlight those key features. The next slide here is the dashboard. So when students first log in or you log in with your staff account, students are brought to this portfolio page called My Dashboard. And this is where items like careers, schools, anything that they've been favoriting, taking self-surveys, they can go back to find their self-survey results. Anything that they've been working on and exploring will post to their My Dashboard when they save it. This page pops up first so that it's easy for students to access and pick up where they left off. Self-surveys, this is where really the fun and engaging part for people to explore their interests, values, likes, dislikes, and discover careers that they'll enjoy. All of our self-surveys are available both in English and in Spanish and include audio for both languages. And 6 of the self-surveys, which I indicated with a little red asterisk, bring students onto an intuitive journey from examining their interests, values, those skills that they're interested in using, to finding careers that align with those attributes, and then also to locating opportunities, including college, apprenticeships, or short-term training that are available both in Minnesota and across the country. One of our tabs, if we kind of look at this green menu bar, I'm going to kind of point this out. The easy part with MCIS 360 is also that we've really simplified and kept some very direct tabs and make navigating in MCIS 360 very easy. And so the next tab over that we're going to look at here briefly is the careers tab. And in the careers tab, you'll see that MCIS all of our information will come from the U.S. Department of Labor's ONET, and MCIS really takes that information. It's fairly long and can be a little bit complicated. And what we do is we organize the career information by titles and also into the 16 national career clusters. So there's a couple ways to look at the career profiles. MCIS also took those over 1,200 career profiles from ONET and combined ones that were real similar in work and preparation, and put them together so that there would only be about 650 to sort through, making the career and military career profiles a little more manageable and having a better searching experience. So they're not like 800 careers. It'll shorten that list for them. MCIS also, we added graphs and charts to make some of that complex information a little easier to understand. And we also made the profiles information less text dense and really at a 6th grade readability level. The next tab over is our education tab, and here we have over 4,000 colleges included nationwide. Our new platform is exciting. We can use an API plug, which lets us get data from colleges as soon as the colleges make it available. So it allows us to stay current with college information year-long as they are providing it for us. In August here, we also receive information from OHE when they do their tuition release, and we will update our Minnesota colleges specifically at that time. Again, just colleges sometimes make those changes at different times, and it can be a little bit of a hunt and peck game to try to keep up with what they're updating, but we do our best and can get what we get from them as soon as we can. Also in the education tab, you're going to find information on those colleges, as well as we have a scholarship database with over 3,500 scholarships that is also updated through Peterson's. And we update the Minnesota specific scholarships. There's over 120 of them that we update yearly to make sure everything is aligned on those. And these are real vetted scholarships. They're not link outs or having students share more information. It's a really great way to kind of drill into the scholarships. There are sorting capabilities. So if you are a freshman in college or a sophomore in college or in a particular program or a upper class, like junior, senior, fourth year graduate school, there's lots of different ways to pull those scholarships and search them out. We also have information on apprenticeship programs found in Minnesota and across the United States, as well as we include short-term training. In Minnesota, the Office of Higher Education, OHE, does approve a whole bunch of shorter programs that are more like diploma or certificate focused. And so we include their list here in the short-term training, as well as some additional opportunities that are available around the state. And we also make it easy for students to link to FAFSA and the Minnesota DREAM Act. The next tab over is our employment tab. And here that takes, there's a resume writing tool that it can be really handy, and a cover letter tool. And I'm going to show you those styles here in just a minute. But also we include and the resumes really are nice, because if they students started in junior, MCIS junior, with putting in resume information, it moves up to the high school version. And so they can continue to add that header information. And then as if they transfer to your adult program, all of that resume information travels with them, because MCIS accounts are sustainable. So as long as sites have an MCIS account, those student accounts remain active for the entire lifespan of our students, then becoming just working adults. We also have job interviews, so helping students be very successful in planning those interviews. And they're just some short YouTube video, not YouTube, they're like a YouTube video, but there are videos, short videos that really can help highlight preparing for an interview, what to do when you get to the interview, what to do after an interview, so that you can have a successful interview and just really make a great first impression. Also, we list some of the popular national labor exchange links that are used here in Minnesota, including just ones that will direct to the Minnesota job postings. Once in, you can choose any state you want as well, but again, we try to default to Minnesota. We also have a direct link to the virtual and remote job search and veterans job search. And here's just a quick look at that resume builder. And so when you create a resume, there are two styles to choose from. And if you want to change that, you can download these resume can download into both a PDF and a Word version. So in the Word version, you can edit and create a different style if you like, but they are also ready to go and be added to an employment link for applying. And with responsive design, our program will adjust to fit onto a tablet and onto a cell phone. And we found that adult usage is really higher on cell phones. My husband did this just yesterday. He attached his resume right from MCIS to a job link that he was doing, and he just did it while we were waiting for our meal at the taco truck. So it was really kind of nice and slick, and just really relevant as of last night. That was a good thing a very functional option. All right, next is our career plan, and this is really the career plan, and this is where the kind of that excitement is, where we can have that easy button for creating a tool for teachers. This is where you can look at all those great things we were just doing and make a career plan of your own. Each site has already plans listed. And so this one's just called Prepare for Employment. You could call it a PEP plan, a PEP plan, and you can add and create your own agenda for what you want students to accomplish in that plan. So it's a great way to direct students instead of saying, click on self-surveys and click on this survey, that like click on the workplace employability service. If you just have them go to career plan, you're able to assign a plan or an activity to them, and they can just accomplish and be directed through MCIS through this plan. So just a really great way to, and we'll kind of look at how that functions in just a minute when I drive live, but we do have some state default plans that are available. So if you're just like, hey, I just want to get started with something, go ahead and use the ones we have on there. We do, there will be some specific training, and I have some videos for curriculum if you want to create your own, that is there, along with lesson plans. All right, we also have our subscription fees listed here. We just have being MCIS is really available through the Minnesota Department of Ed. We operate as a nonprofit, and MDE sets our pricing to cover our programming and our MCIS staff. And all of your training is always free on MCIS. So if you need any support or customer help, reach out to us on the Contact Us tab. And also we have a training tab that I'll point out where we have training that we schedule year round as well. But we also are happy to come out to your site and meet with your staff and do some training. To talk about the Peterson's test prep, and here you'll see some options. Sometimes with adults, the ones that make a lot of sense, there is a GED test prep package, and this cost covers your entire site, and your students will have unlimited access. Peterson's test prep is they just did a overhaul 2 years ago, so that is very functional on a phone and in responsive design. The civil service practice tests is another package that can be really helpful, as it will contain all of those practice tests for firefighter, police officer, and such. So again, and also Accuplacer is another package. So again, this would be one charge statewide for a full year. All right, now we're gonna go in live drive here for just a minute. Go into the preview. And here on our website, I just want to point out quickly while we're here under the admin tab, you can find where you can get some training and some tools that will be available for you. We have everything you will need to run MCIS and be able to get things done that you need. And I'll take a peek in there in just a few minutes towards the end. And then also we have full curriculum with lesson plans, and we'll look at those in just a few minutes. All right, so logging in, there's an option to log in. This would be starting with the student view. You can also, we recommend if you're using MCIS that staff have their own staff account, because then they can go in and run reports and create custom plans. So I'm gonna log in here real quick. And here's that starting up with my dashboard. And if you're a new user, or when your students log in for the very first time, this page, their dashboard will be empty. It's their portfolio. They'll create it by coming in and saving careers, saving schools, taking self-surveys, and all of their saved items, again, will appear on this dashboard. And then they can click in, making it really easy for them to go back and check out those careers that they're interested in and do some more exploring. I also said there's a way that they can make some notes and manage. So there's a little pencil icon up here, so they can add their own notes to any of these items and delete them if they're no longer interested. Self-surveys, this is any self-surveys that have been taken. If a student hasn't taken a self-survey yet, they get a little prompt that says, click into self-surveys and begin taking one to explore your career interests. So here you'll see just a snapshot. This is our demo model, so we have them all there. They can pop in and see a snapshot, and can also go back into any self-survey and go into get the full results here. I'm going to just show you the pencil really quick before I'm not going to pop in first. So I'm going to just pop in and show you a full results here from the interest profiler. So our self-surveys will have audio, And so here you can see the audio button, and they see the directions, and these are the results. They can look and get more information and explore those top career interest areas. I'm just going to pick this top one, investigative, here. And now I will see a little bit more information. So each of those self-survey results for the self-surveys will have a similar look and functionality, so they can get more information on investigative, again, in audio. Then they will also get, for those 6 with the red asterisk, linked to careers on their list. So these are careers that match and align with those people who have investigative interests, and then careers that are matched to that interest. We talked about being able to look at different views. So this is the career index, so they can look at cluster view, see what kind of careers are in by one of the 16 career clusters. They can also go and see the title view, which will put in alphabetical order, compare careers. They can also reordinate these careers using these headers. So if they want to check out, let's see what the hot jobs are, they can. They can do a search for a specific career, or they can use a filter. Each of the filters on the indexes will be appropriate. So this is the career filter. And so it will allow us to, let's say, look at all occupations that are apprenticeshipable and maybe are a hot job too. And then you can show those results. And so now we have a filter that these are those from those careers on our list that align with being an investigative type person. That these would be ones that are also apprenticeshipable. So it's really nice is once you've taken a self-survey, that intuitive journey that really is goes right from a self-survey, looking at what your interests are, to finding careers. Once you click into a career, you can then do more exploring on those careers. Up at the top, we can go back and we can compare it with another career, go back to our self-surveys. Any information can be exported into a PDF, or we can go back to our career list where we just were. So just a couple little navigation pieces. Each career has a video. This is how we save. We jumped on the little thumbs up Facebook. So great little way for them to put this onto their dashboard. Here's those headers that can be helpful in exploring more information. Under the education and training, if the occupation is apprenticeshipable, they can lead right to an apprenticeship program. So self-survey to information about a career, to finding an apprenticeship specifically for soil and plant scientists. If a career does not have an apprenticeship available option, this bar will not appear. They can also look at related programs of study and find college majors and colleges that have those majors in them. So just a really seamless journey to looking at and exploring careers. All right, I am going to go back to the career plans here for a minute, into careers, and just show you when working through the tab. You can go again to those same indexes that we were just on through a self-survey, go into that important information, sort by criteria. But what's nice again about the self-surveys is it already slims down that list of looking. Under the education tab, I'm going to just highlight and look at the schools. And this is where you'll see that these indexes are going to be throughout our program, and they'll be the same. So we default to the Minnesota state schools, but we can also look nationally, compare colleges, look up colleges by the search bar. And then there's a filter where there's criteria to help individuals find a good fit for them. You can pop in and look at any of the colleges. So here I'm going to pull up, let's just look at Anoka Ramsey. What I really liked was, as a school counselor, this is really that sanity space where I know every college has a website. We do link to those colleges' websites, but every information seems to always be in so many different places. But here on MCIS, it's always, we put everything into a very fixed category and helped organize all of those college websites across the country to all be in a similar format where there's a video on the school. They provide these videos. Some of them are even 360, so kind of like on Zillow or Redfin, where you can kind of do a house tour. You can do a tour of the school. You can get important information about the colleges, what kind of activities they have, services that they have available. This can help direct people to those things that they need, all that applying information to help them see that, make sure they're hitting their deadlines, any tests they need, some support with paying and linking to their financial aid site, as well as the programs of study. Super important when they when going to college that you double check that each school has their program, because sometimes it seems like programs have been shifting a lot, and sometimes they might be offering, for example, a pilot program. I had somebody call in and say, well, I'm not seeing this pilot program for this school. I know it's there. And when we looked into the program's website, here we link directly to the colleges because this changes so much. And we do, for each college, we link directly to their alphabetical programs list, which is often a little tricky to find too. But here they can check to make sure that program is there. And for that particular school, when we went into the program's website, they did in fact have a pilot program. It just, they weren't accepting students after the class of 2024. So their student who was going to graduate at the end of 2025 was not going to have, there wasn't going to be a program for them. They were only maintaining the students that they had. So really super important that students check out and make sure that what they're interested in is still going to be there. Also on the education tab, again, we can link to all these other great opportunities to find apprenticeships. When you look through apprenticeships this way, you're just looking at a national apprenticeship program. When looking through a specific career, it will direct you right to those apprenticeships for that career. Here's that employment tab. And I'm just going to take a peek in those interviews, the videos that are available to help prepare, practice, and do some follow-up. And just a note that they are adding in the next couple weeks here some PDFs so that people can print off a PDF that has like the key points and they can take some notes. The videos are very short, 2 to 4 minutes long, just kind of those quick, all the how-tos and what-tos to make that a good experience for people using, going and preparing for an interview. All right, so all of this great stuff, again, can be put into that easy button career plan. This is the tool for teachers. I so wish this was there when I did MCIS. If you did the old version, there was checklists and those were arduous to do. You can create a plan in about 5 minutes. So we have sessions on how to do that. So I don't want to get too far into that. I just want to show you sort of how they work. So here's like some training options. This is where students can navigate to different plans. These top 4 plans, prepare, training, career, self-discovery, are on all adult college versions of MCIS. And then here's just some flexibility where you could create your own plans below, trio or a PEP plan. And so when we click in, for example, self-discovery, we can click in and go right to, again, a self-survey. All the self-surveys have some reflection questions. So there's about 60 activities on top of all the components. You can direct students to any of the components in the menu, as well as there are activities that will align with those. Rewards I want from work, so they can fill out. And these are live activities. So when they choose, if they've gotten started, if the activity's done, it will show green. If they need to pause, it will show orange and means that they're going to come back. So some even indicators is what they can do and that they need to come back and work on it. I'm going to pop into Trio really quick to show also there's flexibility. So those 4 plans are state default plans. You can copy them, edit them on your site. but they're set up just for general use and help people just get started. This is a program that we started working on with one of the colleges. And so you can also have the option within the career plan tool to create your own activities. So here there's an introduction video to MCIS. It's just a 7-minute video. It's a URL link to a video that's found on our homepage. And so they can link right to those videos or any other URL. So if you have a Google form or a video that you created or a document that you've done, you can direct students to those. Interest profiler. When you see the self-surveys, you get the information of what's on the interest profiler. Everything is in audio, and then and kind of a quick description. But you can also, when it's in the career plan, when you add the interest profiler to the career plan, you can also add other directions, and you can include the quick starts that are available on our website, and you can just link to the quick starts, which really helps for independent learning to then have step-by-step screenshots on what to do and how to read those self-survey results and navigate from the results to finding a career to looking for training. And that will be in those quick starts. We also have in scholarships, for example, there's the index for the scholarships, and you can add in local scholarships that might be available through your network or your program. So just some ideas that you can take what is up here in these tabs and then assign them to students. And then a great feature, forgot to point out where the self-survey piece is now that I'm saying a great feature is in the self-surveys. Now we're back at the interest profiler, and I came through it through the menu. And here I want to just highlight where to change from English to Spanish, and know that each of these audios tabs are also translated into Spanish too. And when looking at a self-survey, they can restore previous answers. They can get started. There's a navigation button that allows them to navigate back and forth. And a nice little feature is that they built in, if you're trying to navigate away, it'll ask if you want to continue. And that's kind of slick, because then that way they don't move on without being asked to save. Because of data privacy pieces, it won't save as they're going, but they can stop mid self-survey and then continue it later. Also, just in case I didn't mention, self-surveys, they can take unlimited times. And so they can always take and retake those self-surveys. All right, so with all this good stuff, that signing activities and being able to really easily direct students to those things you want them to do, instead of saying, click here, click on education, click on schools, click here. So much can be driven just by the plans. Again, these are very flexible. You can hide them, edit them. I'm going to show you where to do that. With your staff accounts, you can go over to the admin side and just quickly here show you that you can run reports to see what favorite careers your students are saving, or schools. Also can get their self-survey reports. And then here they can go to an additional report. So if you created a career plan for them, there is a whole record or report that they can look at what plan that they've assigned. So you can see which plan you would like to look at. And then it will list any groups. So what you can do with MCIS is create groups. So if you have 2 or 3 staff members in the same building, or you want to create a GED group or an adult learning group and do different plans, you can set up plans for different groups. So this allows you to look at those different groups that you might have set up. I think I have one here. Yep, Lane GED. And so here are all the plans that I put into that are in the training options plan. And here are the activities there. And then this will be the students that I put in my group for my GED class. And I can see if they have careers saved. There's a little check mark if they've got scholarships. And then they are working on also the reporting for this. And I didn't pull one that had a goal. All right, so if they can run a report right now, it's gonna pull up the report. And so we are working, there's a report that was going to show up where all of their answers can get exported in and come up in a full report. And that feature is being finished up here in the next week or two. Right now, you can see if somebody's done or not done something just quickly from here. And soon we are going to be able to click on any of the green check marks and see what's behind that. I was kind of hoping it was going to, I should have checked it this morning to see if it was going to be ready. So also on the report, so on the report side, those are some of the reports it can run. There are ways to easily create portfolios for your students and create your groups. You can customize the career plan here, very easy to use. And then over on their quick links, this will link back to things that are really popular to do. And the curriculum is really a highlight where you'll see full lesson plans along with PowerPoints that go. So we're trying to really make it easy for teachers to just kind of personalize and make these their own, but to have a little guidance. So I'm just trying to drag this from my other screen. All right. There we go. So just a quick snapshot of the career cluster inventory, for example, that every self-survey has a lesson plan as well as the resume builder, but you get the essential question that might be a little small, any related activities to that lesson, to a self-survey or to the resume or job interview lesson. Then they have a slide. This is for the PowerPoint, and then really the verbiage and the helpful hints to kind of say and express what's going on for that lesson. So the goal of the lesson, and just gives you some words. And again, you can, I always have to tweak things and make them my own. So you can definitely fix the wording on those slides to meet your needs. We have some options and variations to use, and then all the materials are also included there at the bottom, along with all the goals and standards. And just to give you a quick peek, these fall really nicely, these PowerPoints, into Google Slides if you use Google too, and you can edit them, but this will help with directing students, and it can be posted for them to use on their own or use in a classroom like walkthrough. So just a really great tool, easy to use, easy to find, and then a scoring rubrics included. And these are all the curriculum plans that we have right now. And we will be continuing to create a few more lessons. And then the admin tools, this is where I'm going to show you, they have all the guides to the admin manual, everything you need to know. We have some navigating support tools, how to do reports, so quick video. There's all the quick starts and the career plan editor. So really everything we have has screenshots, really easy to use manuals. And we are creating and adding more how-to videos so that you can learn, if you need to, in 3 minutes, how to create a student account or how to navigate MCIS. We also will have some additional resources to help support sharing out information about MCIS, or how to share out the passwords and signing on. And we even have statements for all of our self-surveys. So just a real strong sense of options for you to have for tools. And again, if things come up that you think would be really helpful, let us know, because we have the ability to kind of add whatever can be helpful for Minnesotans here to make career exploring easier and more fun and enjoyable, engaging for your learners. I can open up. Is there any questions here in the last few minutes?
The stuff in the chat's been answered.
Oh, okay, perfect. If there's anything anybody wants to see, I'm happy to pop in and kind of like spend more time in an area. I just didn't want to give the highlight, drive a little bit just to kind of show off a few things. But just if there's something you wanted to see, we have a couple minutes too. And it's hard for me to see the chat. Let me see if I can pull it bigger. And I'm not sure if Marie, can they unmute themselves if they want to?
Yes, they can.
Okay. So if there's any questions, feel free to also unmute.
There is a question from Keith. Question is, if this was already mentioned earlier, is the program approved for DL contact hours? I'm sorry, I don't know what DL stands for.
That's
you could,
distance learning.
thank you.
I don't know that MCIS is approved for distance learning, but you can, I believe if I understand how distance learning contact, we have schools that are like high schools that are using us. And what they do is they set up a plan to include all the activities that are needed to get high school credit. So if direct learning, if that is the similar, you can make sure you have the elements of any program like a PEP or standards that are needed and then put them all in a plan. Then that way, by completing the plan, you know that they've met the contact hours. So high schools have sort of designated, especially with the self-surveys, they can see how much time something might take, and they can go through it to kind of gauge what this will take. So there's just 10 minutes maybe to complete it, and then the exploring part. So what I'm trying to, is that kind of answering that question the right way? So, and I kind of relate it to high school time where we set up like this activity would take about 45 minutes. And so credit is set up by standards and sort of time both depending on this credit situation. Is that similar? I hope that answered.
Yeah. Probably best to contact the DL team.
Okay.
I'm looking for that email right now, and I will chat it out as soon as I can find it.
Perfect. Yeah, we don't have a direct, yeah, if it's set up by a team, it's great too. Perfect. Good question. I'm going to look more into what the DL teams are and how that is set up. And that might be a really good conversation. We do have, like for example, at the high school level, we just rolled out a work-based learning plan. And that work-based learning plan is a comprehensive plan that includes all the activities that a student in a work-based learning CTE course needs to do. So they can actually like meet all those standards for that class. And schools could decide to assign credit to that plan based on its meeting those standards. So I'm trying to liken it to that. All right, any other questions? This is a good one. I love this group. They usually have some good questions, and that was a good one. Great. Thank you for the comment too about being well laid out. We are really trying. That was kind of the exciting part about being on the programming team and having been a teacher and a high school counselor who's used MCIS for like 24 years, to be able to have some input on making MCIS, the new platform, very engaging, easy to use in the sense that it's very intuitive, not a lot of clicking and going down the rabbit hole, so to speak. So if you have ideas or you have suggestions or question, please add them. That's how we just get better. This is a collective effort. So this isn't just here's MCIS, deal with it. We do appreciate some input, and where we can make enhancements, we will and can. Again, limited to some of the programming pieces and costs, but it's been great to work as a collaboration. Missouri, the reason we have all those curriculum and lesson plans was that Missouri got a grant and they said, let's do them. And so it was fun to be on that team and be able to share that across the platforms. And so that's the fun part about being a part of a bigger co-op. All right, well, it looks like we're wrapping up. So yeah, thanks. Thank you. You guys have a great rest of your day and enjoy the rest of the conference.